Use code RAINREGALIA for 10% off your next W Energy order. Now onto the show. We begin our tale, as always, with a space pod heading toward a planet. But in this case, it is not the planet Earth. It is a planet called Gensokyo. In this event, in this scenario, Kakarot, the son of Bardock and Gine, does not land on Earth. He gets sent to Gensokyo. Be it because of a programming error or something like that, he ends up on a brand new planet in a world of adventure and fantasy, and perhaps lacking a bit of common sense. But you know, in the honor of the late, great Akira Toriyama, I would think, yes, he would love a world without common sense. That's the kind of story he would like to tell. So, Kakarot crash lands on Gensokyo. Who finds him? Well, here's where it gets interesting. He's actually found by one Renosuke Morichika. Because I figured, yeah, he could use a father figure just like Grandpa Gohan, right? In this case, fortunately for Renosuke, he lives in Gensokyo, so he knows how insane some stuff can get. So when Goku, well, not Goku here, he still hits his head, but instead of being called Goku because of his monkey tail, Renosuke decides to call him Wukong. Because, you know, a little cheeky reference there. So Wukong looks at the moon one night, he turns into a giant great ape, but Renosuke, he's not stupid. He's able to survive and avoid that, even gets a bit of help from the Shrine Maiden at the time, who was Raimu's mother. Now, moving forward a few years, Goku is now 10 years old, basically the same age he was at the start of Dragon Ball. Now, the problem is, there are no Dragon Balls in Gensokyo. But in this universe, Gensokyo is indeed a planet, not a land that's cut off from Earth with a barrier. So, out there in the universe, there are indeed Dragon Balls, just not here. So, what do we do for our first adventure across Gensokyo, which is much bigger here? Well, he's training one day, because, of course, he's still got those Saiyan Gs, right? He still wants to fight. So, Renosuke introduces him to Hong Mei, because that whole thing went down while he was still growing up. Because, you know, why not, right? It's been 10 years. Let's say Reimu was 5 when her mother died, right? So it's been 10 years. So Reimu would be 15. Probably the start of the Windows era. Scarlet Devil Mansion happens. Hong Mei is there. So Renosuke's like, hey, you're a martial artist. My son is interested in fighting. Do you want to teach him? So Goku learns from Hong Mei, and they go and learn, and he learns how to fly because it's Gensokyo. He learns Ki Blasts, or, you know, Danmaku, and he gets really strong at what he does. He gets passionate, and he decides, you know what? I'm going to travel Gensokyo because I want to learn all there is to learn about this land. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because there are many different people to learn from and to fight from, but you're probably wondering, who is going to be Wukong's traveling companion? Because he had Bulma in the original, so who is it going to be here? Well, this is where it gets fun. Because I think his traveling companion would be none other than Nitori Kawashiro, another blue-haired genius inventor, who, depending on medium, also has big boobs. So, you know, it fits. So, she travels with Wukong, and they go through, there's several incidents, and they definitely partake in them. Like, for example, let's say, Perfect Cherry Blossom. Let's say Wukong and Nitori actually help fight against Yuko, because why not? Maybe Yuko said something like, I can eat more food than you, or something, and Wukong was like, oh, no, you don't! And he was like, I'm gonna fight you. Does he have the power pole, though, you're probably wondering? Why not? I'm sure Renosuke had a fucking power pole in his back closet or something. Now, you're also probably wondering, wait, if this takes place in Universe 7, what's going on with Earth? Well, at this point, it's fine. Nothing bad has happened. Bulma's doing her own adventure. I assume she met up with Yamcha and Oolong. So they're doing their own thing, right? But for now, let's focus back on Wukong. So life goes on. He gets stronger. He learns. And he does indeed get a love interest. Who is the love interest? Well, the love interest is going to be, well, it's going to be very interesting. Because after thinking about it and going, who would fall for Wukong? Because he's not falling for anyone first, you know him. He's a little airheaded. He's all about the fight battling. So it'd have to be a girl who goes after him. And I think, going through all the candidates in Gensokyo, there is but one, a few actually, but one that would actually really like Goku. Or no, well, I'm just gonna call him Goku sometimes because, you know, trying to say Wukong all the time, I'm getting confused. Wukong, who would like Wukong. And that is Son Biten, who, you know, thought she was the reincarnation of Wukong, but she's not. But I think they would get along a lot, like a lot. And I think Biten would actually fall in love with Wukong. Because he'd embody everything she loved about fighting, of the legend of Wukong. So I actually think they would get together. Now, back on Earth, well, King Piccolo showed up. Uh-oh! Everyone's in trouble. The world is enslaved. It's not going too hot, really. He's doing his thing. No one's over to stop them. And Wukong, he's living his best life over in Gensokyo. He's traveled all over the world. He's learned different techniques. He's partaken in different incidents. But here is where the good times end. Because while Wukong is living his peaceful existence and enjoying his life, a new entity is starting to approach. Because, as Moscow X would say, life is great, that is, until Raditz shows up! See you in part 2.